Hi, welcome to my new video for beginners. Today we will draw a double-track railway you see together. Are you ready? Here we go. As always, I draw my horizon line first. Draw the horizon line as parallel as possible to the top and bottom edges of the paper. Then I draw a vertical line. The point where the horizontal and vertical lines meet will be the vanishing point in this drawing. As you know, we will draw two train tracks, right? One will be on the right and the other will be on the left. Let's start by drawing the left one. First, I draw a straight line. It starts from the vanishing point and ends at the bottom left of the paper. Then, in the same way, I draw another line similar to this line. Okay, the first railway track will be between these two lines. Now it's time for the second railway track. I tried to draw this railway track symmetrical with the first one. To achieve this, I am using the vertical line I drew in the middle as a guide. Both train tracks should be at equal distance from this vertical line. Okay, the railway tracks will be between these lines. Now it is time to draw the rails of the railway tracks. In the same way, I draw a straight line starting from the vanishing point. And I tried to keep the width of the rails the same while I'm doing it. If you're struggling to draw straight lines, try using a ruler. Now I draw the height of the rails. So these rails need to be held together, right? I'm going to add sleepers between them to do that. First, I'm going to mark the limits of the right and left edges of the railway sleepers. Okay, the railway sleepers will be between these lines. Here, we need to use another important rule of perspective. Things look smaller when they are further away. When drawing railway sleepers, remember that the width of these sleepers and the amount of gap between two sleepers will gradually get smaller. I'll finish drawing the railway sleepers, adding a few small details. Okay, that's it. Let's make the railway sleepers thicker. Let's add some shadow to the railway line so that it's easier to see. I'm speeding up the video a bit so as not to take too much of your time. Okay, it looks good. Drawing a railway track is not as hard as you'd think. We'll go back to the railway track drawing for details later, but right now we have other things to do, poles. The first thing we need to do for the poles is to mark the limits of the upper and lower points of the poles. As you can see, I draw two straight lines starting from the vanishing point. Well, the poles are going to be between these two lines. First, I mark where I'm going to draw the poles. Okay, now details. At this point, I should remind you of a rule I mentioned earlier. Objects get smaller as they move away from us. As you can see, the poles got smaller as they got further away. Oh, and one more thing. Did you notice the pole closest to us? Where's the top of this pole? Because of the angle of our position, we cannot see the top of this pole. Therefore, the top of the pole is outside the paper. If we draw them like this, the poles would be very short. Just compare them to the width of the railway line to see how short they are. Let's add some more detail to the poles. Okay, good. It's time to draw the wires of poles. Instead of drawing the wires in a straight line, you should draw them slightly curved. Looks good, huh? Okay, let's keep working on our drawing and add some more details. For example, I'm going to draw a barbed wire fence on the right side of the railway track. As you can see, I start by marking the area where I'm going to draw the barbed wire fence. I do this by drawing two lines coming from the vanishing point. The wooden stakes of the barbed wire fence will be between these two lines. As a rule of perspective, wooden stakes get smaller the further away they are, and the distance between them also decreases. I draw the barbed wires so that they end at the vanishing point. I don't draw the barbed wires as a straight line, because they would probably get damaged in real life due to weather and natural conditions. Okay, now I'm going to add some farm buildings on this side. For this, I draw two straight lines starting from the vanishing point. Then I draw the roof of the building between these lines. I'll draw the third line here. The building will be between this line and the roof. Then I draw a line for the side of the building and complete the roof. Okay, that's it. I draw two straight lines again for the windows of the building. Then I set the width of my windows and how many windows I will draw. Finally, I finish by drawing the frames of windows and adding door. I'm now adding the chimney to the building, following the perspective rules I mentioned earlier. Now let's add our second building. When drawing this building, I follow the same steps as in the previous building drawing. The building drawings are finished. What do you think? Is it hard? Now I'm going to add some shading to the buildings to make them look more realistic. Good. Let's continue adding depth to the drawing. How about drawing mountains here? Just remember to draw mountains above the horizon line, not below it. When you're drawing the mountains, don't worry too much about the detail. As you can see, a few lines are enough. I'm sure there's more to this terrain than meets the eye. Let's add some more details to make it look more realistic. Maybe trees, right? Make sure to draw the trees in the distance smaller. This way you can see that they are far away. How about small building on this side? We should add a road here for the people who live on the farm. I'm sure they would be very pleased with such a road. Notice that both the railway track and the road end at the vanishing point. All roads lead to Rome, huh? Haha. To make the road look realistic, you have to distort it a little. The road should not be straight. Well, let's get back to the details of our railway track. We need to add ballast to the track. Ballast is made of crushed stones and goes under the railway track. Ballast helps the sleepers to lay on. I'll speed up the video a bit here so you don't waste time. If you draw a railway track without ballast, it just looks really bare. To me, at least. Ballast makes your drawing look more realistic and adds depth. It may take you some time to draw this ballast, but the result is worth it. Okay, it looks good, huh? We've finished the perspective. Before we get into the details, there's something I want to tell you about. Just to let you know, all vertical lines are parallel to the right and left edges of the paper. In one-point perspective, the vertical lines should not be slanted. Now it's time to look at the details and shading. As you know, the subject of this video is perspective, so I won't go into shading in detail here. Shading is a whole other subject, and a video should be prepared just for it. I'll just show you quickly so you get an idea about shading. Use 2B and 3B soft pencils when you start your drawing. This way, if you make a mistake, it is easy to correct it. Use 4B or 5B soft pencils for shading or to emphasize dark areas or lines. For sharp lines or fine details, you can use a 0.5B pencil. Start shading with soft light touches. Be gentle with the pencil and paper. As you go through the process of shading, make the lines darker. Basically, it is best to shade from light to dark and from soft to hard. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. It would be great if you subscribed to my channel and liked my video to show your support. You can find more cool videos about railway track drawing on my channel. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.